everybody, welcome to Ken Knows Gambling, and this is Wednesday, so that means it is Rowdy Wednesday, Rowdy Roulette, and I'm going to dispense today with the like, share, and subscribe part. I want to get right on into this today. Today is 101. As you can tell, the craps was 101. This is going to be 101. This is just learning the board and the odds for it today. I know everybody, I've had a couple comments that, hey man, when are we going to get into the betting? Really, really soon, I promise you. Once we get into the 201 stage, it's all about money, odds, betting, strategies, that sort of thing. And I promise you it's going to get exciting and we're going to get into it. Roulette, it's a great game. It's a great game. If you're not careful, though, it'll whack you. And it'll make you go broke and cry home to mama. Let's just sort of look at the board right now. And so we can figure some of it out. I'm still trying to get the best angle. You can see, hey, I still have my shirt. Getting the best angle, and I'll work on that. This whole thing is a work in progress, okay? So, as you can see here, this is a 0-0 layout. We call it 0-0 because we have the 0 and 0-0. On my little roulette wheel, it's a 0-0, okay? So, inside from the 0-0, you'll see 36 numbers. 1 through 36. Okay, now, when we start talking about odds for a single bet would be just placing a chip. A chip can be any monetary value on a number. That's going to pay you 35 to 1. Put it right here, 35 to 1, 35 to 1. Each singular is 35 to 1. You say, hey, that's pretty good. Well, it actually is pretty good, except you have 36 numbers, and then you have a 0 and 0-0. That means there's 38 numbers. Well, by the law of probability in math, it says that when a ball is spun, that it should come up once every 36 tries. But it doesn't. It's one every 38. Once every 38, but it only pays you 35 to 1. There's the house edge. You could sit and bet 34 numbers. Put $100 on 34 numbers. That's $3,400. But if it hits one of those two that you didn't cover, or it hits at 0-0, which it can, you lose. Okay, so we're going to get into betting strategies on the 201. I want to just go over the board layout right now. First, you have outside bets right here, which is 1 to 18, even, red, black, odd, and 19 to 36. This is an even money proposition. If I put $100 there and it's red, they pay me $100. All of these on the outside are, in fact, even money bets. Okay? Then we're going to go into the dozens. You have the first dozen, 1 through 12. That means if I bet a chip here, I am now covering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm covering everything in this square. I'm covering everything in the dozen. Well, it pays 2 to 1. Well, you'll notice there's 1, 2, there's 3 dozens. It should pay 3 to 1, but it only pays 2 to 1. There again is your house edge, okay? This will pay 2 to 1, 2 to 1, 2 to 1. Now I'm going to come over here and jump this camera a little bit. So these are dozens. And then you have columns. Hopefully you can see that in this video. You have columns. If I put a chip here, I am covering every number in this column. 34 all the way to 1. If I bet this middle column, it's 35 all the way through 2. If I bet this last column, it's 36 I've got every number in this column back here. This also pays 2 to 1. Okay, now we get to have some fun and we get to go inside. When we're talking inside, we're inside the 1 through 36. All right, what I want to do now is just discuss the odds, okay? If I say I'm splitting, this is what I mean. I am splitting two numbers. This case, I'm splitting. You'll see the line. I'm splitting the 7 and 10. I could come over here and I could split the 0, 00. This pays 17 to 1. Anytime I do a split between two numbers, it's 17 to 1. And they will pay you 17 units. It doesn't matter that this is 100. It could be a $5 unit. It could be a $1 unit. They're going to pay 17 to 1. Then I could bet what's called a street. I lay my chip right there on this line. That means I am now covering the 19, 20, and 21. I am covering three numbers at the same exact time. That will pay me 11 to 1. 11 to 1. Then I could bet a corner. I could put my chip there. Now I'm covering 19, 20, 22, 23. I'm covering all four numbers. And as you can see, there's a lot of corners that I can bet. Corners. They'll pay 8 to 1. 8 to 1. Then I could bet a double street, which is now placing the chip right there at the corner of 19 and 22. But now I'm covering 1922, 2023, 21, 24. I'm covering all six numbers. And that's going to pay me 5 to 1. 5 to 1. Then you have, hopefully you can see this, you have this little bet right here. Okay, can you see this? It's at the corner of 0 and 1. I am now covering 0, 1, 2, 3, and 00. I'm covering all five of these numbers at the same time, and that will pay me 6 to 1. That's it as far as the odds go. We have now covered all the odds. You're going to find out there is a zillion ways to play this game. Excuse me. I mean, you'll see people come up here with chips and they're just putting them all over the place. There are so many ways. People try to beat this game. I'm here to tell you the bad news. In the long run, you ain't beating this. Okay? Now you can have some fun. There's going to be a lot of people around. It takes time to spin the ball. People are putting their bets in. People are getting paid. And it's a lot of fun. It's a good time killer. And what I use this game for pretty much is a hit and run. I'm not sitting here all day, because all day long, it'll get you. You got to be careful. This game, you really have to use strict money management, discipline, big time, okay? But I'll use it as a hit and run. And I'm going to give you a little example of what I'm talking about. When I say hit and run, I like betting the dozens. Okay, so I may bet the third dozen and the second dozen. When they spin the wheel, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. When they spin the wheel, basically I'm covering 66% of the board minus the 0 and 00. But I'm covering a lot of the board. However, I'm laying. So I've got two chips here, okay? The number is 10. And they use this little gizmo. They're going to come over here and find the 10. They're going to mark. That means I lost. So they're going to take my money. I also play something called follow the dozens. So if this one hit, I'm always going to play the middle. I'm going to pay these two dozens right there. So let's go ahead and spin this again. and see what happens. I'm following the dozen. I'm going with the winner. Okay? So this one right here is a 29. Bam! It bounced back over here. Lost it again. They take my money. Now, this does happen. I'm glad I'm doing this live. Because in this game, remember I told you loss limits. Win goals. Loss limits. Okay? And if I get beat 4 in a row, I'm gone. The end. Take my lumps, take my bruises, and I'm out of there. Okay? But in this particular case, it is bouncing here to here. Well, I've only lost 2 in a row, so I'm going to go ahead and follow the dozens, and I'm going to go ahead and do it again. Okay? And so while they're spinning, what I'm trying to do is catch the trend. Okay? It doesn't matter that I am doing 66% of the board. I'm still getting whacked. Okay? But now it's a 22. Boom, it comes in here and I win. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to lose this bet. But then they're going to pay me 2 to 1. So I'm going to pick up 2 chips there. Basically, I'm betting two chips to win 1 chip with a 66% chance of doing it. It's not quite 66 because I've got that 0-0-0. So, but I'm covering more than half of the board. Okay, are you with me? I like following the trends on the dozens. There's a lot of people that just like betting red. Spin the dice, or they like black, or just odd. Here's the cool part. 19 to 36, exactly half of those numbers. It's the higher half. It's from 19 all the way to 36. Odd covers every odd number, which, oh, by the way, is half of the board. Black, there's the same amount of black as red. You're covering half of the board. These are all 50-50s. Red, the same way. Even, now I'm just covering all the even numbers. A lot of people play the low, 1 to 18. Another way you can actually play, it's like the dozens, but it's not. I can go 1 to 18, and then I can go black. What am I covering here? I am covering half of the numbers, 1 through 18. But at the same time, I'm covering all the blacks at the same time too. I'm covering a lot of this board, okay? Now, I'm not too much going to go into systems today, but I'm going to save that for 201 because, like I said, there's a zillion of them that you can do. But I'm just giving you a little feel for it. So this one ends up being red number 5. Well, I'm going to win this one because it's 1 to 18, red 5. Okay? But it's red, so I'm going to lose this one, so I broke even. Okay? If I would have been betting low and red, then I would have won. 1 chip here and 1 chip there. Okay? This is actually a really, really good game. It's an exciting game. But like I said, if you don't have money management and discipline, you'll get whacked. It's a simple game now that you know the odds. 35 to 1 on a single bet. 17 to 1 if you split. 11 to 1 if you just go with a street. 8 to 1 if you go with the corners. And 5 to 1 if you go double street. And then obviously 2 to 1s on your dozens and your columns. Okay? That's roulette. The only thing left now is to devise the right money strategy, the right ways to bet. And on our next video, when I go into 201, I'm going to figure this camera angle out, I promise. And we're going to spin the wheel. I'm going to cover what I like to do. I'm going to cover what you shouldn't do. And it's going to get exciting, I promise. All right, that's the end of Roulette 101. Wasn't quite as long as Craps 101. By the way, Friday is Freaky Friday. Anything goes on Friday. What I'd like for you to do is maybe comment and maybe, hey, what do you want to see? Right now, I'm leaning towards blackjack and doing some different money strategies at the same exact time to compare one or the other, but maybe I won't. The more of you that comment and want to look at maybe it's baccarat, blackjack, whatever it is, I'm going to try to do that for you on Fridays. I'll have Q&A sessions, all this good stuff. So Fridays are a question mark. Anything goes. Okay, so that's it for today. Wednesday, Rowdy Roulette Wednesday. I hope this was informative to you. And the next time we're going to really get into some strategies and have some fun. All right, until next time, thank you so much. And see you later. Bye.